Welcome back, explorers of the unknown. Today we're embarking on an epic journey to unravel some of the wildest, most mind-bending mysteries our cosmic neighbors have to offer. We're talking about strange objects seen on Mars and the Moon, things that defy explanation, spark endless debates, and make us question everything we think we know about the universe. From bizarre rock formations to possible ancient artifacts, shadowy figures to unexplained lights, this is going to be a deep dive into the weird and wonderful. So grab your favorite snack, settle in, and let's blast off into the unknown together. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single second of this. Let's start with Mars, the red planet that's been captivating humanity for centuries. It's a place of dusty deserts, towering volcanoes, and secrets that seem to whisper from every crater. Thanks to rovers like Curiosity and Perseverance, we've got more eyes on Mars than ever before, snapping photos of its surface in stunning detail. But sometimes those photos reveal things that make even the most skeptical scientists scratch their heads. One of the strangest objects ever spotted came from an image taken by the Mars Global Surveyor way back in the late 1990s. It's called the Face on Mars, and it's exactly what it sounds like. A massive formation in the Cydonia region that looks eerily like a human face staring up at the sky. Now, when this image first hit the public, people lost their minds. Was this proof of an ancient Martian civilization? A monument carved by intelligent beings? The face is about a mile long, with what looks like eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Some even pointed out what they thought was a teardrop under one eye, adding a poetic twist to the mystery. NASA, of course, was quick to step in with an explanation. They said it's just a mesa, a flat-topped hill shaped by wind and erosion, and the shadows in the low-resolution image tricked our brains into seeing a face. This phenomenon is called pareidolia, a psychological quirk where we humans see familiar patterns like faces in random objects. Think of it like spotting a bunny in the clouds or Jesus on a piece of toast. But here's where it gets juicy. When higher resolution images came in years later, the face looked a lot less face-like and more like a lumpy hill. Skeptics nodded and said case closed, yet die-hard believers weren't convinced. They argued the new images were manipulated or that the original face had been eroded over time. Some even tied it to ancient astronaut theories, suggesting it's a remnant of a long-lost Martian culture that once thrived when the planet was wetter and warmer. Science tells us Mars did have water billions of years ago, rivers, lakes, maybe even oceans. So it's not totally crazy to wonder what might have lived there. Still, no hard evidence of alien sculptors has turned up, so for now, the face on Mars remains a tantalizing maybe. A perfect blend of science and Speaking of imagination, let's shift gears to another Martian oddity that's got people buzzing. The spoon on Mars. Yep, you heard that right. In 2015, a photo from the Curiosity rover showed what looks like a perfectly shaped spoon hovering above the surface. It's got a handle, a bowl, everything you'd expect from a utensil you'd find in your kitchen drawer. Social media exploded with jokes about Martian picnics and alien soup recipes. But there's a real story here too. The spoon isn't floating. It's actually part of a rock formation carved out by wind erosion over countless years. Mars has some of the wildest weather patterns in our solar system, with dust storms that can engulf the entire planet. That wind is a master sculptor, chiseling rocks into shapes that mess with our heads. What's fascinating is how this ties into nature's artistry. On Earth, we've got wind-carved wonders like the hoodoos in Utah or the wave-like formations in Arizona. Mars just takes it to another level with its thinner atmosphere and relentless gusts. The spoon isn't the only kitchen item spotted either. There's a rock that looks like a knife and another dubbed the Martian flower with petal-like curves. These objects aren't proof of alien chefs, but they do show how our brains are wired to find meaning in chaos. Psychologists say this goes back to our survival instincts. Spotting a face or a tool in the wild could mean friend or foe, food or danger. On Mars, it's just rocks, but oh boy do they stir up our curiosity. Now, let's talk about something a little creepier. The Mars Monolith. In 2009, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter snapped a photo of a tall, rectangular slab sticking out of the surface near a crater's edge. It's smooth, upright, and looks totally out of place, like someone dropped a giant domino in the middle of a desert. Fans of science fiction immediately thought of 201: A Space Odyssey, where a mysterious monolith signals alien intelligence. Was this Mars's version? The image went viral, with people speculating it could be a marker, a beacon, or even a tombstone from a lost civilization. Scientists, as usual, had a less thrilling take. They say it's a natural volcanic feature, probably basalt, that fractured and stood upright due to erosion around it. Mars is home to the solar system's biggest volcano, Olympus Mons, so volcanic rocks aren't rare. Still, the monolith's perfect shape raises eyebrows. Nature can do some incredible things, think of the Giant's Causeway in Ireland with its hexagonal columns, but this slab feels almost too precise. No one's found tool marks or alien graffiti on it, so the jury's still out. What's cool is how it bridges science and history. Ancient humans built monoliths like Stonehenge, often for reasons we still don't fully understand. Could Mars have its own version, natural or not? It's a question that keeps us staring at those red plains. Let's keep the weirdness rolling with the Mars jellyfish. In 2021, a Perseverance rover image showed a rock that looks exactly like a jellyfish, complete with a dome-like top and trailing tendrils. It's not swimming around, of course, it's just sitting there in the dirt, but the resemblance is uncanny. This one's another masterpiece of erosion, likely shaped by water and wind from Mars' wetter past. What's wild is that Mars once had conditions where jellyfish-like creatures could have floated in ancient oceans. Fossils on Earth show jellyfish go back hundreds of millions of years, so it's not a stretch to imagine something similar on early Mars. This ties into a bigger question. What's the line between nature and life? The jellyfish rock isn't a fossil, but it teases us with possibilities. NASA's been hunting for signs of ancient microbes in Martian soil, and every odd shape like this fuels the dream of finding something more. Human psychology kicks in here too. We're desperate to not be alone in the universe. That longing drives us to see jellyfish, spoons, and faces where there's just stone. It's a beautiful mix of hope and science, and it's why Mars keeps us coming back for more. All right, let's hop over to the moon now, because our closest neighbor's got its own share of strangeness. The moon's been humanity's nightlight for millennia, inspiring myths, art, and eventually rocket ships. When we started snapping pictures up close with orbiters and landers, we found some head-scratchers that still have people talking. One of the creepiest is the Lunar Tower, spotted in images from the Apollo missions in the late 1960s and early 1970s. It's a tall, spire-like structure casting a shadow near the Sea of Tranquility, and it looks way too straight to be natural. Theories exploded. Some said it's an alien antenna, others a leftover from a lunar civilization. The shadow's the key here. It stretches out like a needle, suggesting height and structure. NASA's explanation? It's probably a boulder or outcrop catching the light just right. The moon's surface is a mess of craters and jagged rocks from billions of years of meteor impact, so weird shadows aren't uncommon. But the tower's symmetry bugs people. Shadows can trick us. Think of how a tree at sunset can look like a monster. But this one's got an eerie precision. Later images haven't pinned it down definitively, so it lingers as a lunar ghost story, blending technology's limits with our wildest dreams. Another lunar oddity is the Shard, a jagged, upright formation seen in photos from the lunar orbiter in the 1960s. It's near the Sinus Medii region and looks like a broken skyscraper, with a sharp edge and a faint shadow. Some claim it's miles tall, which would make it insane for a natural feature on the moon, where erosion doesn't happen like on Earth. No wind, no water, just micrometeorites sandblasting the surface. The Shard's fans say it's artificial, maybe a piece of a shattered alien base. Scientists counter that it's likely a trick of perspective, a ridge or crater, rim lit dramatically by the sun's low angle. What's neat here is the history angle. The moon's a time capsule. Its surface hasn't changed much in billions of years. Every scar and spike tells a story of cosmic violence. The Shard could be a relic of that, not aliens, but it's the human need for mystery that keeps it alive. Our brains love a good puzzle, and the moon's stark, silent landscape is the perfect canvas for one. Let's get even weirder with the lunar domes. These are smooth, rounded hills, spotted across the moon, especially near the Marius Hills. They're not craters, they're raised, like blisters on the surface, and some have tiny pits on top. Apollo astronauts saw them up close, and modern orbiters like the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter have mapped them in detail. Scientists think they're volcanic, formed when lava bubbled up and cooled long ago. The moon had volcanic activity billions of years back, and these domes might be its last gasps. But here's the twist. Some domes look too perfect, almost artificial. UFO enthusiasts call them alien habitats or observation posts, pointing to their odd placement and symmetry. One dome even sparked a theory about a glass-like structure based on how it reflects light. Science says it's just geology, but the psychology of it fascinates me. We see domes on Earth, think igloos or ancient tombs, and project that onto the moon. It's our history meeting space exploration, and it's a combo that hooks us every time. Now let's talk about the moon's moving lights. Astronauts from multiple Apollo missions reported seeing faint flashes and glows on the surface, especially near the Aristarchus crater. These aren't camera glitches. Buzz Aldrin himself noted a bright flash during Apollo 11. Modern telescopes have caught them too, brief pulses of light that vanish as fast as they appear. What's causing them? The leading theory is outgassing, burps of trapped gas from the moon's interior hitting the surface and glowing under solar radiation. The moon's not totally dead geologically. It's got moonquakes and maybe even some leftover heat, but the lights feel alive, don't they? They dance across a world we think of as static, and that contrast grabs us. Some say they're alien signals or machinery switching on. No proof, of course, but the idea is rooted in our tech-driven world. Lights mean activity, life, purpose. Nature's got its own tricks, though, and these flashes remind us how little we still know about our closest companion. Back to Mars for a sec, because we can't skip the Mars skulls. Over the years, rover photos have turned up rocks that look disturbingly like human skulls. Eye sockets, nasal cavities, the works. One from Spirit in 2006 is a fan favorite, sitting alone in a sea of pebbles. Another, snapped by Curiosity in 2014, even has what looks like teeth. These are textbook pareidolia again, eroded rocks mimicking something familiar. Mars's harsh environment is a skull factory, grinding stone into shapes that haunt us. What's chilling is the context. Mars might have hosted life once, and skulls are a universal symbol of death. Our minds leap to ancient Martians, their bones fossilized in the dust. Science hasn't found fossils yet. But the search for microbial life keeps these skulls in play. They're a bridge between nature's chaos and our deepest fears, and they make every new photo a treasure hunt. Let's wrap this cosmic tour with the lunar statue, a tiny figure spotted in a panoramic shot from China's Chang'e 4 mission in 2019. It's on the far side of the moon, a place we rarely see, and it looks like a person standing upright, maybe a foot tall. The internet dubbed it the moon rabbit, tying it to Chinese folklore about a rabbit living up there. Up close, it's just a rock, angled and lit to perfection. But that far side setting adds intrigue. It's a dark, lonely place, shielded from Earth's chatter. The statue's a perfect endnote because it blends everything we've explored. Science explaining nature, history shaping myths, technology revealing wonders, and psychology driving our need to see more. Mars and the moon are mirrors reflecting our hopes, fears, and endless questions. These strange objects aren't just rocks or shadows. They're invitations to keep looking, keep wondering, keep dreaming. So, what do you think? Are these cosmic curiosities just nature's pranks or hints of something bigger? Hit that like button if you're as obsessed with this stuff as I am, and drop your favorite Mars or moon mystery in the comments. Subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. We've got plenty more where this came from. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Peace out, explorers.